Did you feel that's just harder? 'Cause I'm burning up for you, baby.
So the Jonas Brothers are back, baby. They're back and better than ever.
You know what? I hate to admit that earlier today, like out of nowhere, one of their songs it was stuck in my head all day, and I couldn't get it out.
You should not hate to admit that.
Because I wasn't a Jonas Brothers fan ever. Not consciously, but I guess unconsciously or subconsciously rather.
I don't remember that. That's not how I remember.
Yeah, that's not how I remember. Actually, I remember having to go to the counselor in middle school because a girl told the principal that me and one of my friends were making fun of her because she was such a big Jonas Brothers fan. Whether that is true or not, it was up to them to determine, but I'm pretty sure it was true. Because that sounds like something that in middle school you would pick on somebody just for no reason at all. She's probably like one of like 1,000 girls at that school that liked the Jonas Brothers, but I mean, we just felt like she was easy target probably.
I had to go.
That's why middle school's fucked up.
I had to go to the principal one time because this was like when I was in like fucking third grade.
Third grade's tough.
Third grade's tough. That's a tough year. Like 10, you're like 10 years old. You know, that's tough.
That's a good time, but it's tough. You get your first like girlfriend.
Right.
So you had to go to the principal in third grade. Why?
Yeah. So I had a friend named Mitch, and this other kid, we didn't like him, and I don't remember what his name was. But
bitch.
Yeah. No, but that's where this is going.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh, what rhymes with Mitch? And then he was like, bitch. And then one of the teachers heard. And then some other kid that wasn't even in the conversation ratted me out and was like, well, he said, what rhymes with Mitch? So I had to go to the principal's office, and he was like, well, you were trying to get like...
They said like antagonizing.
Yeah. He was like, you were trying to get a response from him, so you're in trouble.
There's so many other words that rhyme with Mitch, though.
No, but we all know what...
Yeah, ditch.
What 10-year-old me was...
Abercrombie and Fitch.
That's right.
Because you're 10. That's what you were hoping he would say, and then you'd go, "You're gay." Woo! But instead he hit you with a bitch. So shout out to that kid. When I was in third grade, specifically, I remember third grade. I had just gotten some light up shoes.
Oh man, were you the coolest
Dope.
kid? Yeah.
Dope light up shoes. I thought I was the coolest kid. For sure. Mm-hmm. And I had a long-time childhood friend lived across the street from me. Her name was Mackenzie. She listened to the first episode of the podcast, so shout out to you. And shout out to everybody else who did listen.
Yeah, honestly.
That was dope.
That's awesome.
As you said in the first episode, you didn't think we'd have any listeners anyway, so it's dope that, people did check it out and they liked it. So
yeah, far exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, same.
Let's put it that way.
And hopefully the same for this, but if not, we're still going to do it and don't give a fuck.
Because you know what? Fuck you guys, this is for us anyway.
Yeah, I don't care. Don't tell me what you want me to talk about because I don't care.
We're going to talk about what we want to talk about.
So like I was saying, I was in third grade. I just got some light up shoes. Me and Mackenzie have been friends long time, live across the street from each other. She's my best friend. So when I just got these light up shoes, I went to school and I was like, okay, well, I got to show Kenzie. Like, it's my best friend. I got to find her. Yeah. And so I saw her in the hallway and she was with 3 other girls. They're in 4th grade. So she was a year above me. So it's like 4th graders when you're in 3rd grade.
Are you kidding me?
Like in my elementary school, when you're in 4th grade, you could like run for president and like vice president and council and shit like that. So it was like being in 4th grade is like, dude, those are the big kids.
Dude, you're the shit.
Yeah.
There's no one cool.
And like 4th grade girls when you're in 3rd grade.
Oh, you're just trying to get
Specifically when you're in 3rd grade. Don't take this out of context. Don't just clip 4th grade girls. Because I could see how that could be an issue.
No, but it will be in our title.
Yeah. How about 4th grade girls from a 3rd grade perspective?
No. No. Jesse and AJ talk about 4th grade girls.
Yeah. So these 3 4th graders, I walk up to them, and I remember just like really like emphatically just like stomping my foot, because to light them up you had to like stomp or like walk around like kind of heavy footed, and so I like stomp my feet and they start like lighting up and like crazy, like they were like high tech light up shoes though. Like even thinking about them now, they're pretty cool. They look like Soulja Boy's light up shoes that he came out with, except original. And I remember I just like slammed my foot down, they started lighting up, and I thought for sure like this is the move. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the move, and, you know, I'm in there. I'm basically a fourth grader.
In there with those fourth
Yeah,
grade girls.
exactly. I'm basically in fourth grade. So, the second they start lighting up, they all just bust out laughing, including Mackenzie. I was like, I felt betrayed.
I would too.
And you know, I brought this up to her recently. I was like, don't think I ever forgot. She's like, I don't remember that at all. I was like, no. I remember.
She does too.
And I will never let you live that down because that was traumatizing.
And you know that if it was just you and her, she wouldn't have laughed like that. It was she had
you know
to
what?
play it up in front of the
honestly
principal.
feel like she might have saw them before I even went to school, and I was like trying to just like show her friends, and she just happened to like be with them or whatever. And then they started laughing. She laughed at me, and it was like still one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. And I, like to remember it that vividly. It left an impression on me.
Yeah, I mean that was.
Do you have any childhood things that you still remember very vividly?
Oh yeah, 100%. I remember when I was 4 years old. I was in my grandpa's backyard.
4 years old.
Yep, 4 years old. I was in my grandpa's backyard, and my uncle is like swinging me around by my arms in the air.
Yeah.
And I just feel pop in my shoulder.
Really?
Like, oh my
4-year-old shoulder dislocated.
So I remember vividly going to the doctor, him shaking my hand, and like somehow popping it back into place. Like it was like a 2-second thing. And then going home, and then the next morning.
It's fucking badass.
Oh, it was badass. And then the next morning, my arm was like still in extreme pain, and I remember eating Fruit Loops on my grandpa's porch with my left hand.
What? Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because you had to use your left hand. So, wow.
I vividly remember that.
That's actually pretty cool that you could remember it to that detail. Like when you were 4, you know for sure you were 4?
Yeah, I think
so. Because I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that you like start memories when you're like 3 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't have any vivid memories from that. And if I do, I don't necessarily remember being that age in the memory. You know.
Right.
4 is super young. That's dope.
I can remember that stuff. Don't tell me something I told you yesterday.
Right. Well, also that was like a traumatic experience for you.
Right.
Like your fucking shoulder popped.
Yep.
When you were 4.
When I was 4.
I'm surprised you don't have like shoulder problems now.
No.
None at all?
Yeah, we're good.
That's good.
It's not even a problem at all.
That reminds me of when I was a young kid one time, and I don't know if it was just like a booster shot or some shit I had to do, but it was. Have you ever got one in your ass cheek?
I'm sure I have. I don't remember it though.
Okay. Well, if you had this one, there's no way you would forget it. I was like, I mean, I might have been like around 3rd grade age. I was like 8, 10 years old, some shit like that, and I don't even remember. Maybe it was a booster shot. I was sick. I don't know. But I remember I had to get a shot in my ass, in my ass cheek, and that's the only way they could like administer this shot to me. Like that's I still to this day.
People knew it was.
Yeah,
your
not in my
cheek.
asshole. Yeah, like that would be an intense shot.
Oh my God.
I don't know which
imagine?
one would be worse. Because wait till I explain this, and then you tell me which one you would rather. So I had to get it in my ass cheek, and they had to get like 7 nurses to hold me down because I was like, fuck that. Like, Mom, you betrayed me by bringing me here, first of all. Like, the love I had for you is different now because you betrayed me.
Yep.
You brought me here for this fucking guy I don't even know to put his hairy knuckles on my ass cheek to, press against as he puts a needle in my ass with some fluid that, I mean, I didn't see the bottle that he got that from. I mean, that could be anything.
Yeah, God only knows.
And they had to get like 7 of them to hold me down. I was bucking. I was a feisty little 8 to 10 year old.
You had the strength of someone in the psych ward.
Yeah.
They
I had
needed
like
a straitjacket for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If they had one there, they would have put it on me 100%. Because they probably would have put one of those spit guards on me too. Because I was probably like threatening to bite and shit.
Right.
I was
you
going
look like
off.
Hannibal Lecter with that like.
Yeah. I was going off. I was, as the kids say, I was popping off.
Good.
And dude, it was like it was like they put molasses in my ass cheek. It was the thickest. Like the only way I could describe it is like syrup. Is what it like. It felt like he had a syringe full of syrup, and he just injected it straight into a vein in my ass, and I literally could not sit down for like 4 hours.
Oh.
On the car ride home, I had to like hoist myself up with my hands and keep my ass off the seat. And my mom still made me wear my seatbelt. I'm like, I'm literally standing.
At that point,
I'm dying anyways.
just make sure you don't wreck.
Yeah, it's
Because-
you're the one who took
Right.
me to this internment camp, otherwise known as the doctor's office.
When you're 6 years old,
That's what it feels like.
might as well be.
Yeah, like I don't know this guy's. What's under his lab coat? Is he wearing anything under the lab coat? First thought, probably not. I've seen a lot of videos.
On
I don't know the name of the website honestly.
Yeah,
I was using Stumble. I stumbled upon it.
yeah, they do. They'll throw you into some.
Yeah.
You don't know. You
Yeah.
never know.
No, I don't remember what the forum was. It was like
It's like
YouTube or no, it was like SpewTube, something like that. And I've seen some of those, so I don't know what doctors are up to. Like that's my impression of doctors.
when you were 6.
Yeah.
Your impression of doctors was what you saw.
First of all, I was 8 or 10.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, at that point, I probably hadn't seen doctor porn.
What, you were talking about doctor porn?
No, I'm just saying. That's just something I
you're
just.
just throwing that out.
No, yeah, I just came up with that right now.
Right.
It's based off what you had just said. So I feel like you were talking about.
So it's
that.
my fault.
Yeah, basically. But do you? It makes me think about when my dad saw my search history on. Which is first of all, this is dumb. I had a desktop computer in my room at his house, so it's like, duh. Yeah, I mean, I'm like 12, 13. It's like, yeah.
What is a kid to do?
Honestly, I was because I remember my first search because he found it and then he was like, "Did you Google boobs?" And
Right,
then
that's always
boob
what it is,
pictures,
like,
and I was like,
big boobs.
"What? No!" Like, and at the time, he was dating this girl, and she had kids, and they were living with us as well, and.
So
I was like, no, it was him for sure. Like I've never Googled boobs. I never seen them. So
don't even know what boobs are.
no,
Really?
but I do remember that was like my first time, like looking at that shit. Was like I Googled boobs. But I might even like Googled like watermelons because I didn't want to get caught. I was like watermelons,
Thinking it would like.
and then turn off safe search, and then you
like,
get a
oh, yeah.
couple, and you're like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
sweet, and you're like, cans. Help me out here. Human
Melons.
cans. Yeah. Yeah.
Any fruit.
Yeah.
Any big fruit.
Yeah. Those are the good old days. Innocent.
Yeah, those were like. I'm gonna say that's post dial-up, but barely.
Yeah, that is barely post dial-up because I had dial-up. And no, it's probably about the same time because we didn't even have internet at my dad's house. We had a computer with no internet.
Yeah.
After a certain point, like my dad, we kept the computer there,
Right.
and all I had on it was like, do you know what Icy Tower is? It's like a game. It's an old PC game.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It wasn't fun at all, but we used to play Icy Tower all the time.
Loved it.
Once we didn't have internet there anymore. But I do remember like not being able to be on the internet at my mom's house, or like if she was on the phone or something like
Yeah.
that. Or you would pick up the phone when somebody was on the internet and it would make that fucking crazy sound.
Oh yeah. Good old days.
Weird
man.
time.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of internet going on at once in this room, like right now.
And it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It doesn't matter at all. I mean, we both game online. I'm connected wirelessly. You're wired.
Yep.
My connection doesn't change at all when you get on.
No, not even a little bit, right?
No,
Like
no.
it's never
there's
once.
there's like one or two times, but you can't even attribute it to that because if it doesn't happen consistently, then there's no way it's that.
Yeah.
It's like a couple times. It must be a coincidence because it's like you're on for like 15, 20 minutes, then my ping will like jump
Go up
up
a little
just
bit.
for like a second,
Yep.
but like and then it's like a spike. So I think that just has to do with fucking who's our internet provider?
Spectrum cable.
Spectrum. That's everyone's internet provider. They fucking
Because
they have a
went ahead and made
monopoly.
Yeah. They won Monopoly. They did not go to jail.
They're the only people ever to have finished a game of Monopoly.
Spectrum. Good for you, Spectrum Cable. You won Monopoly. The
Yeah.
only one to ever finish a game
Yeah.
of Monopoly.
No one
Have
has
you
ever done it.
finished a game of Monopoly.
No, I've
Seriously.
played for about 8 hours.
Yeah,
before
and it doesn't end.
no, and you want it to after a certain point.
I think 99% of the games that I've played, someone has ended up flipping the board because they're just like, I don't want to play this shit anymore.
Yeah, it's usually just like a consensus. Everybody's like, okay, we're done playing this, right? Because it's like 4 a.m.
Yeah. It's like...
I played it after I got a concussion. Like the same day I got a concussion. Wakeboarding.
Were you the banker?
I was like participating pretty heavily, but I was like holding ice to my head. I had a serious concussion. Like I had forgotten the whole first half of the day.
Good.
We were wakeboarding, and I kicked the back of my head with the wakeboard.
How'd that feel? Don't remember.
Didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden it was like I blacked out, and then I'm in the water, so I don't even remember anything up to that point that day. So, but like I kind of do. It's like I had a dream almost.
Right.
And I'm in the water, and so I'm like, my first thought is after like I hit my head is I'm swimming. Mm-hmm. I'm swimming. Oh, okay. And so I go to kick my legs, and I can't kick my legs. It's because they're locked in a wakeboard. And I go, oh, I'm wakeboarding. That makes sense because I have a life jacket on. Why would I be swimming with a life jacket? I'm not 5. Mm-hmm. And so then I'm like, okay, cool. The boat coming towards me is probably the boat I'm wakeboarding behind. And then everybody like pulls up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen these people before. But you know what's funny about it is that was the first day I'd ever hung out with them too. Shout out to Kyle and Greg and Jared Toskin. That was the first day I'd ever hung out with them.
Wow.
So we go back to their cottage, and I get there and I go, I feel like I've been here before. Like this place looks familiar. And they're like, yeah, you were here like a half an hour ago before we went wakeboarding. I'm like, fuck, but it's first day I'd ever been there.
How disoriented are you? Like, just 100% probably. Like.
Yeah, like, when they were pulling up on the boat to pick me out of the water, they obviously didn't know that I was, like, concussed at that point. And then I'm like, what? I think they realized once they got close to me, and I'm looking at them kind of like, wait, I think I know who they are. I'm, like, looking at them, like, real weird, and they're like, yo, and I'm like, and they're like, oh, he's fucked up. And they help me in the boat, and they, like, start asking me, they're like, do you know what day it is? And I'm like, number day or, like, day of the week? They're like, either. I'm like, no. But I don't really know that ever. It's summer.
Bad question to start
It's
off.
summer. And then they're like, okay, do you know who the president is? And I'm like, yeah, I think so. But I don't remember what year that was, so I don't even know what my answer was. It was probably Obama, I would assume, because it was the first time I'd ever met them. But yeah, so that was, and then we played Monopoly while I held ice to my head, and I was fucked up. Concussions are no joke, dude.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a concussion? Not knowingly?
Maybe not knowingly, but I've never knowingly had a concussion.
Yeah, I mean, if you played contact football at any level, you've probably had like at least a mild concussion without knowing it. This was like the first and only time that I'd had like a real concussion, and I knew that I was fucking concussed. It's a weird feeling too.
Is there anything cool about it?
Just the story, really. Just the fact that I completely forgot the first half of the day, and it's just a coincidence that it was the first day I'd had like actually hung out with them and been to their place and shit. So everything seemed familiar, but I was like not 100% sure about anything.
But let's say you were playing in a football game and you got a concussion.
No, there's no advantage to that.
But like,
anything cool about it?
Yeah, like you're kind of like, I'm kind of a badass.
The only
now.
thing, I was gonna say the only thing that's cool about it is like the bravado part where you like, you're like, okay, I played through like a really fucked up injury, which isn't cool at all.
Yeah,
for a concussion, that's like the least cool injury to play through. You're a fucking idiot. You're not cool, actually. You're a fucking loser.
You'd be
Dude,
cooler playing
get
on
off
a torn
the
ACL.
field.
You'd be cooler playing on a torn Achilles.
I had a broken wrist, and we did not have enough. This was baseball. We didn't have enough players to play if I didn't play. My wrist was literally broken. I broke it the day before. And they made me play second base.
Good.
And it was my throwing wrist that was broken. And so I would scoop the ball if it came to me and then just run to first base.
That's all you
I
could do.
could not throw. So if there was like a play at second or some shit like that, I was just gonna try to tag him or I was going to first. Like, and I told them that. They knew that. They're like, it's fine. And I still had to bat and shit. One hand on the bat. I did not get a hit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't get a hit, but I made contact and I grounded out, just swinging with my lead arm, my left hand. I had to play the entire game. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's cooler.
That's kind of cool because it's like I didn't do anything to further fuck up the injury. It was just like I'm gonna suck.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna be good.
Right.
I'm gonna go 0 for 4, and I'll probably at least make one error if I have more than 5 balls hit in my direction.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, it's got to be.
It was more impressive that I didn't. I made a few plays at first. I never had to. Never a situation where I had to throw the ball.
Did you normally play second?
No, I played shortstop or third.
Yeah, that's why they put you on
center
second
field.
that day.
Yeah, no.
You
I was
have to throw.
like the only way I could play is if I play second, because if the ball comes to me, I'm just gonna run. I can't. What do you want me to do? Toss my fucking glove with my left hand?
Maybe.
My wrist is literally broken. Like, not just hurts, it's broken. And I went to the doctor yesterday, and he said it's broken. They're gonna need to put a cast on it. And I didn't have the cast yet. It's just a fucking broken wrist.
Yeah, go ahead and get in there.
Yeah, batter
Rub
up.
some dirt on it.
Batter up. Rub some dirt on it. Now I have a dirty, broken wrist.
All you have then is a dirty, broken wrist.
Yeah, that doesn't get me anywhere.
No. Oh, shit.
So I guess that's cool. But concussions are not cool.
They used to be. They used to be cool. They used to be cool. You can't even deny they used to be cool. In the 90s, concussions were the shit, bro.
But
I bet you they went out there like, yo, who can get the most
the
concussions?
only reason it's cool is because it's no longer a thing. Like, they don't do that anymore. So it's cool to be like, back in the day, they used to be everybody on the field is just fucking woozy. It's like, yeah, that's kind of cool. They used to really hit each other head to head.
Yeah. It's
Remember
like
that one-
how they always talk about how the NBA used to be tougher. It's like, that's cool because it doesn't happen.
Player for like Georgia like died or whatever. Remember he got like decapitated on the field, and then I'm pretty sure he like died later at the hospital, or like went into a coma or some crazy shit like that. That was like right when that was like 2006 maybe, some shit like that, and they stopped like no more helmet to helmet.
Yeah,
That was brutal.
Think about the backfire that the football community got on that.
It was brutal. Corey Stringer died of heat exhaustion.
Oh, that's right, yeah. But like guys have died.
And you know where he's from?
Before. I don't. Is he from the Dub?
He is.
Really?
Yeah, Corey Stringer, baby.
Guys have died though on the football field like way before
Rest in peace,
this.
Corey Stringer. Yeah, for sure. I mean, people died doing way more mundane things than
That's true.
playing football. Would you or how about this? Would you take guaranteed CTE? Mm-hmm. Guaranteed CTE for by the time you're done playing, you have $5 million in savings.
When do I get the CTE?
When most of them get it, like late 40s.
And only $5 mil.
That's all you're left with in savings once you're done playing.
So you balled out while you're playing.
Yeah, so you know you're not even like a top tier player or whatever. So you're not getting like big contracts, and you're like saving a little bit of money. You're spending a lot of money, obviously. So when you're done playing, you got like $6 million in the bank.
No,
I don't think that's worth it.
it's not worth it.
Because some people would be like, I'd do that. I'd do it for $1 million. It's like, dude, you forget how to like walk and shit.
Yeah, and you die eventually from it.
Yeah,
Like
you die people die like really early. It's not like late 50s.
yeah, and it can like completely change your personality
Oh, yeah.
and stuff like that. So like, I don't know if you want to be losing friends and family over $5 million.
Suicide rate like increases super high.
Yep. The domestic abuse rate.
Yeah.
They always talk about how they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Speaking of suicide, long pause just for dramatic effect. I was watching a mini doc about Hitler and about the Nazi regime, and you know, the only way I knew prior to that how history said Hitler died wasn't from a history class in middle school or high school. It was from the Family Guy episode
Where they're like taking cyanide.
where they're
He's like,
where they're
oh,
like,
no,
oh,
you're not gonna do it.
yeah, and she's like, oh, you tried to kill me. He's like, no, you tried to kill me. That's the only way I knew that he died via suicide. Him and his wife.
Uh-huh.
Apparently,
Yeah.
that was the theory. So, I mean, I will admit I'm one who's prone, if there's good evidence, I'm open to certain things. So, especially since I'd never had, like, a real solid foundation onto what happened with Hitler and shit like that.
You're even more open.
Then I'm more open to it. Then I watched this mini doc, and they talk about how the Allies never once recovered any of Hitler's remains.
Yep.
The only way that the public knew Hitler was dead was that the Nazis, who were the leaders of propaganda, came out and said that Hitler had died. He shot himself in the head, and that they took his remains, they dug a shallow grave, and they lit him on fire.
Right, because I remember him always being burned as like part of
it. So that's what the Nazis say. And then I'm like getting further into this documentary, and they start talking about how Hitler had like these, or let me backtrack a little bit. They're talking about how in that time period, it was common for leaders like that to use body doubles. Like that was like a well-known thing. I can't name them off the top of my head, but I believe they mentioned like Stalin used to use body doubles and shit like that, and it was popular. I can't be quoted on who did it exactly, but that was a thing that was done. And so the theory is that they had body doubles, that when Hitler went down into his bunker with his wife, they are the ones who actually killed themselves, or they were killed, whatever. And Hitler and his wife snuck out with one of his like top-ranking, henchmen or whatever. But then, so that leaves the question, like, where did he go?
Well, I've heard that he's in like South America. Not anymore. Well, maybe.
No, there's no way.
Yeah, he would be like 150.
Yeah.
It could.
But so right, that leaves the question: where would he be?
Right?
Or where would he have gone? What would he have done?
Are you going to tell me?
I'm gonna fill in the blank from the documentary's perspective.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So obviously, it isn't my perspective. This is just something that I watched the other night.
Yeah.
And so they start to detail that there's like a letter that was written by a top-ranking official with the Nazis, where they had talked about setting up a camp or like a base in the last unexplored location on Earth, which at that time was Antarctica. And so the overall arching theory is that they built this like underground bunker basically in Antarctica where they could go and hide out, and that's apparently, presumably where he would have went. And so at first you're like, how possible is that? Especially like
in
to
the
build
1940s,
an underground bunker, and so it's like, I don't know. But then they present this evidence that the Nazis had built an underground bunker in Austria, and it's extremely complex, and I think they said it could fit over 60,000 troops, and it was like pretty much impenetrable. So they had the engineering wherewithal to be able to pull off something like this. So, and I'll just sum it up shortly. This conspiracy gained enough traction, let's just say, that America eventually sent like 2 naval ships, like warships, and a carrier plane with over 100 fighter crafts on it to Antarctica on what they called at the time like a weather mapping expedition.
Right.
And then it was later declassified in like 2009 or some bullshit that obviously it wasn't a weather mapping expedition, and it was actually a military operation. And they went to Antarctica, and what they said was they were trying to train the troops for if there was ever Arctic warfare. But why would you do that if you didn't already think that there was a possibility of having a war in the Arctic?
Right. Yeah.
Who was there for you to have the war with?
Yeah. The Penguins?
Yeah. Like, it's the last unexplored place on Earth.
That's crazy, because the other day I saw for the first time that there are theories that there are pyramids in Antarctica.
Really?
Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen anything about that.
I got pictures up. And they're saying they're like the.
Kind of looks like mountains, no?
I think it looks like mountains. I agree with you, but they're saying that they're like constructed the same way that the pyramids of Giza are. Like
I just wish I could brush off the snow and,
I know,
and look at them a little bit better.
But
Because
it's weird that you say that now. Because what if that's like the base? What if that's the base? It does look like a mountain. I know it looks like a mountain.
It does. It does. Also, where the fuck do people get off in saying that they don't think the Nazis had the engineering capabilities when the fucking pyramids are a thing?
Yeah, that's a good point too. They did that shit like before, like in the
Yeah,
BC era.
yeah, the fucking lack of tools they had then, and they fucking built pyramids, and they built underground tombs and shit like that.
Yeah, the pyramids
so it's like,
really don't make sense to me.
if you have enough, and I mean, those were built by slaves.
Yeah.
So if you have enough manpower and slaves,
which
which
Germany had
which
in that
Germany had,
pyramid.
the Nazi regime had,
For that period,
it's
yeah.
very possible. I'm not saying that's likely. I honestly probably is likely that he killed himself in his bunker.
Yeah. All that being said,
yeah, all that being said, he probably killed himself in his bunker.
That's a crazy theory.
But it is weird that still to this day, no remains, nothing. In like, maybe I got the dates mixed up, but I think it was like 2009. Russia came out and said that they had skull fragments from Hitler, and they had like dental things or whatever, and they finally let, I don't know whether it was the CIA or the FBI and like the American government take a look at them, and when they ran tests on them, both the skull fragment and the teeth came back of that of a 40-year-old woman. So it's just like, then again, that's weird.
Well, Hitler, the 40-year-old woman.
Yeah. I don't know how old his wife was at the time. Like, is it possible that it was her shit? Maybe. But they also didn't say that she put a bullet in her head, and it was a fragment of skull with a bullet hole in it.
Man.
So it's just weird, you know?
It's fishy, yeah.
And it could just be like a really good a well-concocted story.
Yeah. I mean, there are...
And I'm into that. I mean, I really don't give a fuck if it's real or not. That does not affect me right now.
Either way, Hitler's dead.
But the Jonas Brothers are back.
The Jonas Brothers are back.
Did I cockblock you? What were you going to say?
That's what I was going to say.
What, really? The Joe Bros are back, baby. I'm burning up for you, baby. Hell
All
yeah.
right.
Naked Brothers Band is next. They're fucking dope.
Let's talk about that douche named Antonio.
Yeah,
We
probably should talk a little bit of sports.
I do want to talk about.
We should talk a little bit of sports
because I want to get your thoughts on the whole debacle.
You know, I have a lot of thoughts.
I know, and I want you to rant.
I
want you to go.
For those of you who don't know, which most of you probably do, because most of our listeners are our close friends, and shout out to every single one of you. I love you guys. And for the people who aren't our close friends that do happen to listen, the random people that do click on it, I don't love you. But I appreciate you listening. I don't know you, so I can't tell you that I love you.
That's accurate.
That'd be a lie. But I appreciate you. And if you click subscribe, I might say I love you.
I might love you after you subscribe.
I might. You know, you have a much better chance.
But like you said, I appreciate you.
Appreciate you. That's all that matters.
Yeah, just if you enjoy it, spread the word. I mean, there's no reason not to.
Spread it like Nutella. Wow. But most people don't spread it; they just eat that with a spoon. Anyways, speaking of. There's no transition from Nutella to Antonio Brown. But as I kind of said to you, but I wanted to refrain from having my main points. I wanted to save it for the podcast. It's hard to do when you live with each other and we talk about shit like this every day. I mean, really, the stuff that we talk about on the podcast is just shit that we talk about while we sit here and play video games.
That's right.
Like, there's no difference. It's just that there's microphones in front of us. That's the only difference.
Yeah, and our friends that are listening can probably attest to that.
Yeah, no, it's the exact same. These are the conversations that we would be having if there was 10 of us here, or if it's just the two of us sitting here. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so I really don't want to think of this as a podcast. It's more
right. So, I have strong feelings about it, obviously, because I'm a lifetime Steelers fan. Love the Steelers, love the organization. And I loved Antonio Brown. I have an Antonio Brown jersey hanging in my closet right now. So it pains me to see where it's gone. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you would call out a Hall of Fame quarterback who has arguably helped shape your career and your trajectory. If you let's just put Antonio Brown on the Jets for his entire career, having no one to throw to him. Is he the same?
You can't put him on Jets, dude.
Yeah.
McCown.
Yeah, you're right.
Josh
But they had Geno Smith.
They did have Chad Pennington.
Yeah, right. So picture Antonio Brown's career if he had played on the Jets or if he played on the Buccaneers. Would he? This is a legitimate question. I pose this to you as a Browns fan. Would Antonio Brown be the same elite receiver he is today if his entire career was spent on the Jets or the Buccaneers or the Dolphins or some other team that never had a quarterback?
He is Braylon Edwards, if that is the case.
So he's not Josh Gordon, is what you're saying, because Josh Gordon was able to flourish without having a legit quarterback.
Well, I was gonna say that he is Josh Gordon, but that's too controversial because he's not like a guy who can't keep his act together. He's just a dickhead.
But the reason I don't think he's Josh Gordon is because I think if you put him on a team that doesn't have a real legitimate quarterback, now he'll make a difference. He'll make a difference if you put him on a team now with a shit quarterback. But if his entire career was spent on a team with no quarterback, no, I don't think he would be the same player that he is today. I think that not only Ben, who is going to be a Hall of Famer, but I think that just being in the Steelers organization and being around other elite players that have come through there, it's helped him become the player he is today. Is that a fair estimation?
I don't know. I think I disagree, actually.
You think he'd be the same if?
Because I think he's the type of guy that would have like a massive chip on his shoulder. Because think about it. Max School, 5'10", 180 pounds.
Okay. All right. But you're also the same person who said if Brady were to play for any other team his entire career, he would be mediocre.
Yeah, he's a system quarterback.
Okay. And he was not a hot take in the draft. He wasn't a top tier player. So you could argue that he would arguably have the same chip on his shoulder. No. So.
It's different.
Is it just a different mentality type thing, you think?
Antonio Brown's just kind of a dog, and Tom Brady's just kind of he makes out with his son.
It's true.
I feel like Antonio Brown has that dog in him. Let me put it that way. And
I don't disagree with that.
I don't like him.
I don't disagree with that.
And I could see him being a Josh Gordon. I could see him being productive, very productive, even a Pro Bowler on a terrible team. And, yeah, he would be Josh Gordon. I could see that happening. I could see him.
See, I don't see it from start to finish, but that's a fair take, and I respect that. Yeah. Obviously, I'm biased. I admit that. I'm jaded because he's leaving the Steelers.
Yeah, as you should.
And then he shits on Ben in like one of the most like disrespectful ways possible because one, the fucking irony.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The irony.
Oh my God, dude.
Of sitting down with LeBron. And you're telling me you look LeBron dead in the eyes.
And think about how he's looking him dead in the eyes while he has a yellow mustache.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
yellow is like an overstatement. It is like
it's like mustard.
Yeah, it is. I'm biased. It's ugly though.
Oh, it's
and
bad.
He looks LeBron in the eyes and tells LeBron that Ben, as a leader, is too demanding. Mm-hmm. He wants too much from him. He sees himself as more of an owner. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, guess who you just described?
How do you not see the hypocrisy in that? I feel like even LeBron was sitting there kind of like, yeah. I feel like he wanted to be like, yeah, but that's the role of a leader on the team. But I feel like his perspective was he was the leader. But
right.
One, you can have multiple leaders, but there has to be one clear leader.
And it's different in football and basketball because in football positions, quarterback's going to be your leader, dude.
Quarterback has to be your leader. Look at the Oakland Raiders. Look at the fucking Oakland Raiders.
Can we talk about Derek Carr crying every single episode? Can we bring it up at least once every episode?
He cried.
He cried during an NFL game on the field. He cried.
That's a no for me. Cry
hate
in the
Derek Carr.
comfort of your own room.
I don't want you anywhere near the Browns organization, Derek Carr.
Which is a great transition into, is Oakland really thinking about drafting Kyler?
What pick do they have?
Pull up the draft order. Because I feel like they either have the 1 or 2 pick.
They were really bad last year.
Yeah, they had like 4 wins. I don't know off the top of my head, obviously, so we have AJ looking it up. But they're definitely, they have one of the top. So does Arizona. Arizona has one of the top picks. Because I heard that Arizona was also considering getting Kyler.
Arizona 1, Niners 2, Jets 3, Raiders 4.
I could see Kyler falling to 4 easily.
Think about it. The Cardinals, I mean, maybe they need a quarterback.
They've talked about it. And
I know, I saw that.
And other
They were talking about trading.
sports reporters have talked about how, even though I almost never value Stephen A. Smith's opinion, he said that he thinks that the Cardinals should just draft Kyler and as he said, never look back to Josh Rosen. And I didn't watch enough Arizona this past year to have a really clear perspective on Josh Rosen. I know how I feel,
Right.
but I don't think it's an accurate estimation because I didn't see enough of him on the field.
And I feel the exact same way. I didn't watch enough games.
Didn't watch enough.
No.
I want to just say he's fucking trash.
Yeah, I also do.
I want to just say he's garbage.
But then you look at the Niners, they don't need a quarterback.
No, they got Goat Garoppolo.
They got 2 studs at quarterback on that team because they got Nick Mullins.
Oh my God. Nick Big Dick Mullins.
The backup god.
Oh my God.
Get him a max deal, even though it's not a thing in the NFL. And then we got the Jets, who just took their quarterback in the future last draft.
Oh my God. That Minecraft looking motherfucker. You're talking about stretchy head kid from The Incredibles?
Yeah, Dash.
A little fucking douchebag from The Incredibles?
He does look like him, bro.
Yeah, that's not an original joke. I saw that on Twitter. But he looks just like that motherfucker.
And next time, take credit for it.
Yeah, when I say it's not, I saw it on Twitter, I tweeted it.
And then you got the Raiders.
Since we're recording this Tuesday, since it doesn't come out until Friday, I'm going to fucking tweet that before Friday.
Because
and then
then you
it's
did tweet it.
true.
Yeah.
I did tweet it. So fuck you if you're listening in the future.
Yeah, so then you have the Raiders. I mean, Derek Carr did cry during an NFL game. I don't think he's the worst quarterback in the league by any means. But he cried.
So if Arizona takes Kyler, 4th pick, Oakland, when do the Giants pick?
6. Buccaneers in between that. Who knows with the Buccaneers, dude?
Then my personal opinion is make Fitzpatrick the starting quarterback, starting at training camp, let him get all the first team reps all the way through. He's your guy going into the season and give it a run. Jameis is not your guy. He's just not. You've had more success with Fitzpatrick, although there's been a lot of ups and downs.
So think about, they went 5-11, and I don't know this for sure, but I think Fitzpatrick went 4-3.
But he's had some really bad games, and he's
agree.
had some really good games. Yeah. But Jameis has way more really bad games consistently.
I agree with that, but they always say the reason why Fitzpatrick will always be a career backup is because he makes too many mistakes. Like you said, like he can have his ceiling's really high, but
that's a valid argument if your other option isn't Jameis Winston.
You remember Josh Freeman, their old quarterback?
Bring him back.
He got suspended for using Adderall before anyone knew what Adderall was, and
they suspend people for that.
Then they cut him. Yeah, Joe Hayden got suspended too for using Adderall.
Is that still a rule?
No, this was like probably 2010.
I was gonna say that's a really weird rule.
Yeah.
Although I could see it giving a little bit of a competitive advantage.
Oh yeah,
100%. Mentally, 100%. I feel like it would deplete you a little bit physically because you get dehydrated and shit like that. But I could see it giving you a mental advantage.
You're locked in.
Imagine what they probably do is they probably fucking study the fuck out of their plays like college students, but instead of exams, they're studying, crazy formations and defensive coverages and shit like that, and they're just popping Addy. Addy and Red Bull, and they're just wired like fuck.
No, they're just straight Bernie Kosar in it because they're getting hammered they're studying, and then they're getting hammered while they're playing.
And then they're getting hammered while they're announcing.
Yep, I was just going to say, while they're commentating.
and so they slur all of their words.
At the beginning of the game, you're like, oh, Bernie, you sound good this week. And then by the end of it, he's just like, when the Browns are on the 4th and 5 and 30-yard line.
It gets worse as the game goes on.
Oh, it does.
My buddy Jake, he's the one that actually brought it to my attention. So he's like, first quarter Bernie to like fourth quarter Bernie is a big difference.
And I love Bernie, and there's other guys who are like that too. But
and the same could be said for Bernie Sanders.
Wow.
There's a first quarter Bernie, and there's a fourth quarter Bernie.
And
will he come up in the clutch?
He didn't last time. Last game he did not, and he missed the buzzer beater.
I said this off air. I might as well say it on air. Trump has too many Twitter followers. In the modern era, he's going to win again because he's got, as the kids say, clout.
He does have the clout. But remember who we talked about who has more Twitter followers than him, who can't run for president anymore because he already was the president? We need to have a third term.
Okay, how about this? Will Trump have more Twitter followers by the time his presidency is over than Obama has currently? Obama's like 108 or some shit?
Yeah, and Trump's at 52.
58, almost 60.
No.
No? Not possible? I don't think so either. Because Obama has, people from other countries.
I was just about to say, he's
that respect him and follow him, shit like that.
And Trump doesn't have.
And Trump tweets 50,000 times more than Obama.
I know that Donald Trump has the support and respect of our good friends from Mexico. I know undyingly that they will support him.
You know who I know he has the support of? Is the Klan. And not like a clan on Call of Duty. Like the the Klan, you know?
The White Wizards.
The Washington White Wizards. So we were talking about quarterbacks, and I saw it's rumored that Nick Foles might be headed to Jacksonville. What do you think about that? I think Nick Foles deserves a starting job somewhere. If it's not in Philly, he deserves to start somewhere else. He's earned that.
I think that he won't. I can't even say this positively. He'll take Jacksonville at least back to the playoffs.
He's a great quarterback. I almost said good, and I switched it to great because I'm in between on that. I'm in between because great, it might be a stretch. He's a really good quarterback when he's on.
How often is he on?
And when he's off, he's not that off.
Right.
He's not throwing picks and shit like that. Like when he's on, he's 404 tuds. When he's off, he's throws for $190 and a touchdown and a pick.
Yeah.
And they lose by a field goal.
But is that more of Philly style?
Philly special is a tud. Philly special is.
He caught a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl, bro.
He's goated.
And he threw did he throw, run, and catch one in that Super Bowl?
Did he run one in?
Yeah, something. I don't.
Did he run one in? I don't think he did. I don't know. That's like doing the pass punt kick at your local high school. So do we like Nick Foles in Jacksonville? Yes, no. Like him more than Bortles?
I was just about to say, I sure as hell like him more than Blake Bortles or, what was the other guy? The guy from Cody Kessler. Sure as hell like him more than both those guys. You know who Nick Foles reminds me of a lot, who I think is very similar to, is Jared Goff. Very similar. Very similar guys.
Did Goff choke in the Super Bowl, or did Sean McVay get outcoached? Or is it a combination?
Yes. It's all of the above. Because if the Patriots put up, 13 points?
It's bad.
And you're the Rams, who had the best offense in the NFL?
Yeah, you're averaging over 30 points a game or some shit like that.
And granted, the Rams did get worse as the year went on.
Oh, yeah, they
struggled.
And that's funny to say about a team that made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That they got worse as the year went on. That's how hot they started.
Yeah, because, think about it. Think about their playoff run. Okay, I don't know who they beat in the first round, but the second round they played the conference championship. They played the NFC championship. They played the Saints, and they shouldn't have won.
Right.
They got gifted that game.
You make a good point. They should not have won that game. No, not at all.
And God, it would have just been so nice to see Drew Brees just flop out his big old dick right on top.
The Saints would have won that game so easily.
So easily.
So easily.
And that's how rigged the NFL is. So,
Yeah.
Roger Goodell, you can eat a dick and get hit by a car whenever you want, and that would
Yeah.
be fine by me.
Yeah. Do eat the dick first. No.
No.
Get hit by the car first.
When you're laying in the casket, I want there to be a dick in your mouth.
Oh, yeah. Casket. I was just going to think he was, like, in a chair.
Yeah, because they're
He's
just
alive
throw
still.
him in some
I'd rather
basement
him
when he's
get
dead.
hit by a car and be alive. I don't know. What was that?
I want him to go through an excruciating, painful death.
Oh, my God.
Okay, this is too. I don't really want that from
Yeah.
him. I'm not going to wish death
But you
on
do
somebody,
want
but
him to
kind
get
of.
hit by a car and be hurt.
And not be able to be the commissioner.
Commissioner, yeah. Anything to take him out of the commissioner's position. So my last little sports thing. So we talked about who might be the number one overall pick in general. I mean, you said that Arizona has the number one, or no, they have number one pick.
Cardinals, yeah.
What's David Johnson's status?
Old. I don't know. I'll look it up though. But there's
Was
no
he
way.
hurt all year again?
No, I think he played last year. They were just that.
Wow,
They were
that's
just
how
so bad.
that's how little of an impact he made. Because I didn't. You know when somebody doesn't pop off when you don't even notice if you played them in fantasy. that's how you know that they just had a shit year. So do they need a back? Are there any backs in this? You don't take a running back number one. First of all, you just don't.
Yeah, I was just about to say
You don't take a running back.
You can't
first.
do that.
No. What was Gurley was a?
Ooh, he was up there.
He was.
Ooh, the Cardinals' other option at quarterback right now is Mike Glennon.
So yeah, draft a quarterback. All right, so who do you want the Browns to take first round? Ideally, perfect world. He doesn't get drafted, lands to you. Something realistic.
Probably DK. Probably
Do you
DK
think
Metcalf.
receiver's your biggest need?
I just think he'll be the best available with the most talent at the 17th pick.
Do you think he'll be available at the 17th?
Well, I don't know that for sure. Now, if you're not
Do you
going to take
think
him,
it's a possibility? I think it's like less than a 25% chance. After what he did at the combine. Actually, you know what?
is he even the best receiver?
Well, he's rated as the number 2 receiver. The number 1 receiver is A.J. Brown, who's also from Ole Miss.
Yep.
But after his that report was before the combine.
So who knows now?
And then when you absolutely destroy the combine like that,
But sometimes those guys, don't do anything. Sometimes those guys who fly under the radar
they don't do anything. They might not do anything eventually.
That's
but,
what I mean.
But they might get drafted high.
Right. Like they don't pan out though.
I could see like him moving to tight end.
I don't know though. He ran a
No,
4.3, 4.4.
Yeah, but you use him like Kelsey. It's not. I mean, just because
in
he's
today's
so,
NFL, you can split him out though. But,
he'll chip and then run a route, some shit like that. He's fast. I get that. You want him to burn on the sides too. Mm-hmm. But he's gotten so big since he was at Ole Miss. So big in the few months that they haven't been playing football.
Can he block though? I don't know that.
I don't know.
Because you can be big and not block. You can be big and not be able to block.
Yeah, you can.
Look at David Njoku. Huge.
Yeah.
And he's okay at blocking, but be better at blocking.
I'm glad you brought up David Njoku though, because him and DK are basically built the exact same.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They're basically built the same. He's not nearly as fast.
Yeah, right.
It's a great point. He's not nearly as fast.
Now, if you don't take DK, I want you to take Greedy Williams, cornerback,
Yep.
or some sort of a defensive tackle or a D-end opposite Myles Garrett. That's all I want. If you're not going to take a wide receiver, take someone on the defense. Shore up that defense because the defense is strong.
Yeah.
If you get another dude who hits on that defense,
Yeah.
if you go sign Eric Weddle,
You'd love that.
you're looking at a top 5 defense.
The Weddle signing, is that... I mean, he probably won't want to pick up and move too far. Like, he just came all the way
Yeah, from
to the
Chargers.
East Coast
Yep.
from San Diego.
Yep.
Do you really want to pack up? I mean, you probably do want to pack up and move back out
of
west.
Baltimore.
You probably fucking do. But do you want to move from Baltimore to Cleveland?
Cleveland's greater than Baltimore easily.
100%. I 100% agree.
But I know what
I
you
100%
mean. I know
agree.
what you mean, though.
On the fucking lake, it's just wind whipping.
Yeah, some guys like that, though. And he kind of
Really?
Oh,
People
man.
like that?
I'd like that. If I was playing... Well...
You'd like to, obviously. I mean,
thinking
you
of playing
ideally,
for the Browns,
ideally, like, yeah, you want to play for your team. But I'm saying, like,
Oh, yeah.
think about like the environment.
Think about linemen, dude. They love that. Playing in the snow, dude.
Linemen love
know what
it
I mean?
because they're always drinking beer.
That's true. Running backs like it too, though, because footing.
Because you don't throw as much in cold weather.
You get feeds.
You gotta
Although
hand it
hurts
off.
to get hit when it's cold.
That's why Nick Chubb lowers the boom.
But also, we need to go get Phil Dawson back from the Cardinals in free agency, and
He's got to be
Oh, man.
40.
yeah, probably. And there was one other point I wanted to say. Oh yeah, does Eric Weddle play the same position as that guy from Michigan
Which guy from Michigan?
on the Browns? The guy from Michigan on the Browns.
Oh, that you refuse to say his name?
Yeah, Jabril Salt.
I feel like
It doesn't matter.
I feel like you mean does he play free safety or strong safety?
Yeah, do they both play strong safety? And it doesn't matter. I think that Weddle could play free safety.
I
Or
think-
you
yeah, I
just
think-
have two strong safeties.
Dude, Weddle could roam around the field like it.
Yeah, I agree. He could play like a rover.
Yeah, he could play whatever. He could play
Yeah.
man coverage, zone coverage.
He could step up and play a linebacker, dude.
He's a veteran, like
Yeah,
a serious
I agree.
veteran.
But I think we're right there. 7-8-1's not bad. The AFC North is wide open. And like we were talking about, I think we said this last week even, like, Steelers fans are... We talked about this definitely. They are overreacting. Like, the Steelers still went 9-6-1. Like, that's a pretty good record.
I don't even think it's the Steelers fans who are overreacting.
No,
I think
like
it's the media.
Yeah, you're right.
Media's overreacting.
Yeah, that's true.
Do I think that we have some issues that need to be addressed? 100%. 100%. We have organizational issues that need to be addressed.
And what are you alluding to?
Because it's not just the shit in the locker room is an issue. Okay, because if there are people who feel disrespected by Ben because of the way he's leading the team,
That's bad.
that's not a good thing. Even if he's not disrespecting them.
Yep.
If they feel disrespected, this is going to sound like the most PC safe space bullshit ever, but it's true.
No, but I get
if,
what you're
if
saying.
they feel like they've been disrespected, then you need to address that. First of all, I'm not saying Antonio didn't address it or it hasn't been addressed by anybody else, but before it comes to this, I'm assuming they probably did, because why would you go through all this if you didn't at least try to address it beforehand? But, say something. Be like, yeah, I don't like when you talk to me like that. Or
Yeah, that's the other thing I was going to say.
Or if you're going to say something to me where you really want to come at me, Ben, I'll admit this, has a problem of going on the radio because he has a radio show.
Yeah.
He goes on there, he talks shit.
That's true.
He talks shit about Mason Rudolph on there.
Yep.
He's talked shit about Antonio. I get the frustration, 100%. I get it. So even if he wants to say something to, one of the stars on the team, Antonio's gone now, so it doesn't fucking matter for him. But if he wants to address somebody like that, whether it's Juju in the future, James Conner, whatever, if he wants to address them, do it privately. Don't do it in front of the team because they're a leader as well in a different way, different level. So you can't just undermine them in front of everybody else.
Yeah.
Pull me to the side, talk to me, we'll work on it.
Yeah, it's like if you want to give constructive feedback, exactly. Pull me to the side. We'll talk about it on our own. If you want to give me positive feedback, you can do that in front of everybody, but don't rip me in front of everybody.
Right.
Don't go on your talk show and talk shit about me. But that's like the problem. Same thing with AB and Le'Veon. Don't tweet about it.
Way too public.
Are you serious? What does that do? But the thing that pissed me off that AB did was he just totally slandered Big Ben, who
Yeah.
I do not like Big Ben. I'll admit it right now.
Yeah.
I think he's good.
Yeah.
I just don't like him. But just slandered him on his way out of town. Like the easiest way to get away with it. AB, you're a fucking coward.
Yeah,
dude.
that is.
He's just like, by the way, you're a fucking dickhead, and I always hated you. Peace.
Yeah.
I'm out. Like what?
After he was already out.
Yeah, after he already left.
Yeah.
What's the point of
Too
that?
late.
Yeah.
Too late.
2 words.
Too late. I know I sound
year before that.
I know I sound salty, and I'm gonna say I don't care. We don't care. I do, but we don't give a fuck anymore. I do, but shut the fuck up, please, because it hurts. Stop talking. I have your jersey in my closet. I wore it every game day this year, every single game, including Week 17, where he didn't play when we needed him.
Because he didn't want to.
Where we had to win. We won the game. The fucking Browns couldn't pull it off, unfortunately, but it's our fault for leaving it in the hands of the Browns.
Yeah, you should never leave anything in the hands of the Browns.
That being said, we choose our own fate when the draft comes around, and I want us to work on our defense. With Shazier still out, our linebackers are just I'd give them like a B minus C plus.
What
What
about Bud?
I love Bud, but he gets down the line.
Yeah, that's true.
He rushes the quarterback 75% of the time.
Yeah, that's true.
We need like linebackers who can drop back in coverage, and then who can blitz up the middle. Like we need a middle linebacker.
You need Sean.
We need
Lee
an
and
inside
Christian
linebacker. Exactly. We need my Madden
your
team.
Madden team.
We need my Madden team that I created. If we get Sean Lee and Christian Kirksey, we'd be fucking set. Shout out Retro Kings.
Got a quick little Retro King shout out.
Every time that I fucking think about Christian Kirksey, I just think of Retro Kings,
Good.
Which is good, because he is a loyal Retro King, as am I. But yeah, I want a linebacker. Anybody but Devin White would be lit, because I just don't want anybody from Michigan.
No,
on my team.
Devin Bush.
Devin Bush. Sorry, yeah. I don't want everybody from Michigan on my team. I wouldn't even mind getting like an interior lineman either. We need something in the interior.
No Stefan Tuitt?
No, I like Stefan Tuitt too.
Need another guy?
No, you just need more.
Just need another guy.
Yeah, you need more. Our interior needs to be stacked, because I don't want teams thinking they can run all over us.
Cam Hayward too, though.
Yeah, but he plays outside.
That's true. But he plays inside sometimes, I feel like.
Yeah, but I want.
Right.
That's why I said
Another
linebacker first.
Another one.
But I'll settle if Montez Sweat falls to us, you're fucking taking him.
Yeah.
Because I don't give a fuck what you say. A lineman like that, you can put him. He could stand up. He could get down. What the fuck ever. That dude is gonna be good. He's just gonna be really good. So fast too.
Yeah.
He reminds me of like Dwight Freeney.
He does seem like he'll be pretty good.
He'll be good. Mm-hmm. I like him too. I'll admit I didn't see any of his shit prior to the combine, but then after seeing how he did at the combine, looked up his highlights and his stats and shit, and I think he'd be a good fit. But I'd rather somebody who's legitimately going to play inside linebacker, because we don't know the future of Shazier. I'd love if he played football again, but I just it doesn't seem like it's within the realm of possibility as of right now.
And
I wouldn't want to if I were him.
yeah, I'm just gonna say, like, if he's gonna get hurt again, then by all means do not play again. Please.
Yeah, and
Ryan
I'm no
Shazier,
fucking doctor.
When you're listening to this later,
He is big
tonight,
fan.
Yeah. If you are not 100% healthy and cleared by multiple doctors, please do not go back on a football field.
Yeah, I saw him like lifting weights, and I was nervous.
Yeah.
Watching it, I got nervous.
Yeah.
Because he was doing like back extensions. In like half of a deadlift.
Like, a normal person would not be able to walk yet.
No. He was fucking walking
6
like,
months ago. Yeah, a year ago.
He was walking. Yeah. He was walking a while after that.
I'm saying that a normal person still would not be able to walk.
And I haven't seen any video. I did see one video of him like jogging on a treadmill, I think, at like one of the rehab facilities. But that's all I've seen of him, like movement wise. But I wish the best. I don't care if he ever plays football again. Love Ryan Shazier. Right. He's the dude. But we need an interior linebacker, because we don't have our best one.
So, who do you think is going first overall? Because I know who I think is going first overall to the Cardinals. But who do you think is going to go first overall?
I just don't know how set they are on Josh Rosen. I don't know. If I had seen one more game from Arizona, or even I don't even think I watched a full Arizona Cardinals game this entire year. Why would I? Why would I? Nobody has anybody on fantasy from the Cardinals.
Hey, no. I traded for Larry Fitz halfway through.
Did he pop?
No, he was on my bench the whole time.
Okay, well.
I think there was like week 13 where like everybody was on a bye. I think he got a little PT then, but he only played like a half.
So who do you see him taking?
I see them taking Nick Bosa.
I mean, he's projected as like the top prospect in the draft. So yeah, I don't think that's a stretch by any means for them to take him.
And he
would look in a Cardinals jersey. Ugh. Please don't do it. Demand a trade like Phillip Rivers.
Oh my god! But he did nothing. He looked good at the combine. I don't know if you saw him. He looked pretty good at the combine.
He looked really good.
Yeah.
He good.
He ran a faster 40 than his brother. He looked so good in that shuttle, dude. He's got quick feet.
I fucking love Nick Bosa.
Dude, he's good. If he can stay healthy, he is gonna.
He'll be fine. That's why he decided to fucking shut it down.
And that's why he's gonna be the first pick.
Yeah, I think that's fair estimation.
Yeah, but I see where you're going.
That's not even my take. That's something that I had read, and I don't know the validity of it, but I know it's a possibility.
Is it long enough? If you're the Cardinals, you just spent your first overall pick last year on your quarterback. Have you had enough time to evaluate?
In my opinion, no.
Yeah,
obviously.
I don't think so.
I think it's like an obvious no.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I feel like Rosen really underperformed.
But what kind of expectations were there?
Yep. What were the?
Who started the season for them? I don't know.
I thought he started.
He could have.
I thought he started game 1. If not, he pulled a Baker and he came in like game 4.
Yeah, because was it Glennon? He's their only other quarterback, I think.
It's possible.
It's possible.
But
I don't remember.
If they decided to start Mike Glennon over their number 1 pick, then they're looking for another quarterback. That is for sure.
God, there's just. Wouldn't it suck to be a Cardinals fan? Sorry if you're a Cardinals fan.
That's coming from a Browns fan.
Yeah, that is coming from a lifelong Browns fan who has experienced nothing but L's his whole life.
You know what? This is transitioning out of sports a little bit. You know, somebody's birthday is coming up.
I do.
A close friend of ours.
A former athlete. So
not
all the way.
A former standout athlete from Warren, Ohio. No, it's not Mario Manningham. It's not Maurice Claret.
Oh, I thought it was Maurice Claret.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's Patrick Watson.
Oh my God, it's
because
Patrick Watson.
When you think of Maurice Claret,
6-star recruit in soccer.
In football.
In football. He was a 6.5 star.
So
they added extra stars.
His birthday coming up, we thought that we would share some of our favorite Pooter stories.
Our favorite Pooter memory, one of our favorite Pooter memories, one that's, podcast appropriate.
Which we had to go through the memory bank for one of them.
You know, I've known Patrick since I was a child. We've known each other for a long time. And when, the idea was pitched out about, coming up with like our favorite Poot story for, our Poot's birthday special. So many things went through my head. And too many things. I'm like, how do I narrow it down? Mm-hmm. How do I pick like one of my favorite memories with Pooter is? Because we lived together. Like there's so many.
Yeah, right.
You've lived with him.
Yep.
You have so many to choose from. So why don't you start? Why don't you tell me what one of your top Pooter memories is?
I think that when I think of Pooter, this is the first thing that comes to mind. Every time, no matter what. It is Halloween, 2015.
I like where you're going.
Pooter decides, he's got a full beard, he decides I'm going to shave all this, leave a little Fu Manchu, and I'm going to wear a flannel with no shirt underneath it.
And what was his theme? What was his costume?
He said, I'm going to go ahead and be a porn star for Halloween this year. And I said, Pooter, you look like a porn star right now, so that's good.
Old school porn star.
Yeah, we're talking like 70s Ron Jeremy porn.
100%.
And he kind of does look like Ron Jeremy, but that's beside the point. That's
a great point, though. That's a great point.
And it is like we're all of age to consume alcohol at this point.
Oh yeah. Everything was legal.
And
Everything was good.
It's about, we had been going at it, if you will. Oh man. And,
oh yeah, we will, and we have.
I believe that I don't have the video, but I believe that it is 8:40 because it's on Snapchat and you can do the time.
It is in the 8 for sure.
It's in the 8.
It's 8 something.
100%.
And it had been a couple hours of celebrating
Halloween.
Celebrating Poot's newest movie.
That's right. Just released it called Me and Your Two Daughters.
And my Fu Manchu.
And I remember this live, but I remember it more from the video. Pooter dressed as a porn star. Someone's filming something. Turns to him.
Yep.
And goes, "Hey, Patrick, how you feeling?" I think it was Anastasia, shout out, who was filming it. I'm not positive about that either, but I think so.
Oh, we can find the video.
Yeah,
we'll dig it up.
Turns to Pooter. All you see is a frame. He's in the frame. It's just him. And you can just tell by his eyes that this man is not here. He's not in the realm. Pat, how you doing right now? I'm so fucking turnt right now. That's it.
That is one of the most legendary quotes from not only Pat, but from anyone.
From anyone. I'm so fucking turnt right now.
At 8 something.
At 8:40.
You could put that in a museum, put the time under it.
Dressed as a porn star.
And dead serious.
Yeah.
Because the first thing he thought of when he was asked, like, "Hey, how are you feeling?" is he shook his head as he goes,
He did.
"I'm fucking turnt right now."
He said, "I can't feel anything."
Yeah.
That was his way of saying that. And that's what I always think about when I think of Patrick Watson. So
yeah, if things that have been documented, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Oh my God,
That's one of my favorites because it's caught on video. That's
right.
We have that forever.
Yep.
And I could not be more thankful because for whatever reason, I had memory lapse that night. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember that specifically.
Yeah, forever.
I might have had it. It might have been that was maybe after I was wakeboarding and got the concussion or something.
No, you were Eminem that night.
Yeah, I ate a bunch of M&Ms and I lost all my memory.
No, this was before he was lame though. This was before that.
Yeah, no, I was slim. Chicka.
Oh, that's right.
Slim Shady.
That's right.
That's a great one. And like I said before, it took me a long time to decide on a story about Pooter. And this story really, it's not just about Pooter. It's about like the journey with Pooter and another friend of ours, Trent, who is, lifelong buddy. Well, shout out to Trent, much love.
In Australia right now, getting down with some kangaroos.
Much love, but I'm about to shit on you in this story because you are the vein of this journey story, of this story with Patrick. So we had a business trip to Phoenix, and shout out to Trent. He had everything set up. Flight, hotel, rental car, all good to go.
It all went off smoothly without a hitch. Go ahead, proceed.
Seamless, like Velcro. And our flight was to take off, I don't know, midnight, 1 o'clock. We had like a red eye. We were going to land in Phoenix at, I don't know, like 2 a.m. their time or 3 a.m., something like that. Late. So we get there, get on the flight, no problems. All's well. Everything worked. We landed. Beautiful, easy flight. Got a little bit of sleep on the flight.
Oh.
But who didn't get sleep on the flight? And it was Trent, actually. And it was because he directly went against Master Pat's orders. Because Trent, for those of you who don't know, he likes to be different. And it was obvious to Pat and I, like, yeah, let's get some rest on the flight. And as we're waiting in the airport before the flight took off, Trent's like, you know what? I feel like it would be more fun if I took a couple energy pills right before I got on the flight, just like hyped up, and then I'll be ready to go when we land in Arizona. And Patrick's like, don't fucking do that. And then Patrick turns to me and he's like, don't let Trent take those energy, because he kind of knows that, like, you know, he's obviously not going to be paying attention the whole time. He's like, so when I'm not paying attention, you make sure. It was like Trent's a kid, and he's 5 years older than us.
You guys are his parents.
Yeah, and he's 5 years older than us.
Crayons in his mouth.
I mean, it's like 1 a.m., so, like, we're slap happy and shit, so it's just funny to me. And so we're sitting there waiting for our flight, and Patrick's about to go to the bathroom. And I'm, like, already laughing because there's nothing else going on in the airport. We have nothing else to keep us entertained. So I knew instantly that Trent was just going to fucking do it.
Yep.
And so the second Pat walks away, I look over at Trent, and he's already shooting me a look. And I'm like, dude, this motherfucker. And he just pulls out the energy pills, and he starts, like, shaking them in the little pill bottle. And I'm like, and he goes, you going to stop me? And I'm like, no, not at all. I think it's fucking hilarious. And so he takes, like, 2 of them. And they're strong energy pills. He takes, like, 2 of them. And Pat comes and sits back down, and Trent's, like, sitting there, but he's got, like, a grin on his face. And Patrick's like, dude, did he take those? And I'm like, nah, he didn't take them. It's all good. Trent's, like, starting to jitter. And we finally get on the plane. I'm sitting next to Trent. Patrick's on the other side of me. And it's dead quiet on the plane. I mean, it's like 1 in the morning in Cleveland or whatever, Columbus, where we flew out of. And it is dead quiet on the plane. It's dark. We had just taken off. Trent, like, leans forward and looks over at Poot, and he just, like, starts, like, vibrating, and he's like, I'm tweaking, and I'm losing it. Patrick's like, oh, you let him take those fucking energy pills? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not his fucking dad. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, we had a good flight. It was funny. It was a good time. Kept us entertained, whatever. Trent kept me entertained the entire time by just fucking being him. Yeah. He don't do anything else, Trent. Just be you, and that's funny enough. Because you are funny enough. And so we land. We're like dog shit tired.
Except for Trent.
I think those energy pills wore off a little bit. And he was starting to get there. And we had to get off the flight, go down to get our rental car. Of course, we kind of had cheaper plane tickets, so we were towards the back, so we got off towards the end. And we were like one of the only flights that were landing at that time. So we're like, okay, it shouldn't take that long. We finally get to the, I don't know what company we were renting through. It doesn't matter. We get through there. There's a pretty long line. Probably about 20 people in front of us waiting to get their rental cars. It's like 3 in the morning. We waited, and I shit you not, over an hour. Standing, waiting, because there was one person working at fucking Enterprise or wherever the fuck.
Because at 3 in the morning there would only be one.
Yeah. And
Which
it took so fucking long. And what do you know? We got up to the counter, and Trent's ID was expired.
Oh, no.
We can't get the rental car. I'm not old enough to get the rental car in my name. You know who is there to save the day? Is young Padawan. Pooter himself steps up, goes, put it in my name, whatever, Trent's a fuck up, yada yada. So, it just turns out that we can't get it that night, though.
Oh.
That's a shame. So we waited all this time, can't get it that night. All right, fuck you guys, we're not going to rent it from you anyways, we'll just rent it from somewhere else, we'll Uber to the hotel.
Yep.
So we call an Uber, and Pooter calls the Uber. I didn't have Uber app. Trent's lazy as fuck. Poot calls the Uber. Tells him we're at the or orders the Uber on the app, whatever. The Uber guy calls him.
Good start.
And goes, hey, I saw you said you're at the airport. How do I get there? I swear to God that's what the Uber driver said. And Patrick's like on the phone with him. He's like, he's asking me how to get here. And I'm like, fucking shouldn't he know?
Yeah, you need another Uber.
Shouldn't he know how to get to the fucking airport? So I'm like Googling direction. I'm like, Pat, ask him where he's at now. Like, and I'll try to like Google to the airport from there. I'm like, doesn't he have GPS?
Isn't that
Don't you live here? So whatever. He comes, and he takes us to our hotel. It's like 4:30 in the morning, 4:45, almost 5 o'clock. We get to our hotel, and it's dark. The hotel's very dark. The lobby is. There's no lights on. And we get to the front door, and it's locked. Hey, leave your door unlocked, because you're a hotel.
Yeah, right.
How about don't leave me outside?
It's in Arizona, so we're cold.
Freezing. So we're banging on this, like, I mean, what do we do? We have a reservation here.
Yeah.
Why we check in when we check in? Fuck you, come to the door. And so we're banging on it, and this girl like pokes her head out of this back room, and she's like looking at us like all weird, and we're like fucking hello, and she like flicks on a light, and she like comes like reluctantly unlocks the door.
Yeah.
We go, we're like, all right, our reservation's under Underwood, and she's like, how do you spell it? And it's like Underwood, all one fucking, it's one Underwood. What do you mean? What do you mean? She's like, yeah, it's not coming up. You guys actually don't have a reservation here.
Trent.
Yeah, Trent. So, shout out to Poot. You've always been the man. He stepped up, put the hotel in his name and shit like that, and even made the initial payment or whatever. So, he saved our ass from Trent. So, it's a positive story in the end because Pooter saved the day.
Saved you from Trent.
Because Trent did one of those, like, hotel, rental car, flight, like, booking
bundles
bundle deals.
Oh.
And I think what happened was because we didn't get the rental car, the, like, third portion of the deal, like, expired or whatever. We don't have the hotel now. So it's because we didn't get step 2, we don't get step 3 because it's a bundle price, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I think happened. But shout out to Pooter, you saved the day. Even though I slept on a couch that was covered in a wet condom. So...
Would you rather sleep on a couch that didn't have a wet condom on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it was slimy. The entire couch was covered in it. So that's my podcast appropriate Pooter story. Shout out to you, Poot. I'll take a drink for you. You saved the day. You're the man. Happy early birthday. Coming to celebrate it with you this weekend. I know AJ wishes he could be there too.
I do. Be in my hometown, and I won't be there.
But we'll all convene soon enough. But I'm excited, and it's gonna be a good one. Anything else
about Pooter?
I mean, if you have something else about Pooter,
I could go on for days about Pooter, and I could go on for days about anything. But I mean,
do you have a favorite superhero?
I'm not a huge superhero guy.
Neither am I, but I have one that comes to mind.
Well, I think that the firemen and police officers of this nation are the real superheroes.
Boo!
I don't know.
No, but for real, shout out to our emergency services. Fuck the police, though. Wait, what?
What's up, fuck Puff? What?
I didn't know. What?
Brothers Cop, what?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I said, fuck with the police.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Get shot. Wait, what? Hold on. Well, I know who my favorite superhero is.
Who's that?
You guys might not have seen him before. And he rocks a purple and yellow suit. He's got a glowing yellow lightsaber. And before he stops the bad guy, he reads him a Bible verse. And that's motherfucking Bible Man in the building. Can I get some pog champs for Bible Man?
So, Bible Man actually has a lightsaber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let me get eyes on this.
Yeah, if you go to YouTube and just look up Bible Man clip or whatever, there's one specific full episode that's on there that he pulls out his yellow lightsaber.
This is a real life person. This is not a.
Yeah, no, it's a real guy.
This is not animated.
No, it's not animated. And yeah, there's his yellow saber. Isn't his fit is fire? Do you see the crosses on the arm shields as well?
Oh man, that's
the ultimate flex.
Level
the
superhero.
Ultimate flex.
So like, what? Okay, when you were watching Bible Man as a little kid,
not by choice. But
okay.
But I grew to love it.
But
Just kidding, it was pretty bad.
Who are some of the? Give me an example of a villain that Bible man fights.
I can give you a perfect example of a villain. The first one that comes to mind, I don't know his name. The villain's name, his name doesn't fucking matter. I don't even think they were named.
Villain number 1.
But his whole thing was he would toss test answers and homework in the air, and it would float to kids' houses, and they would have all their tests, answers, and homework done. And so, that's serious. Because it's not like Quizlet or Study Blue does that fucking anyways. It's not like that's already out there.
He was Study Blue before it happened.
So fucking this dude's throwing papers up in the air, and he's like, no kid will ever have to do homework again.
Right.
And Bible Man's like, not according to Isaiah 4:75. And then he spews off a Bible verse or whatever, and then his sidekick like pops out of nowhere, and he's like, and that's because teachers are important, and you must always respect your teachers and your elders. And so it's like the whole time you're watching this, you're getting good life lessons, hardcore action. I mean, before he even fought this guy, he said, dear Lord, please show me all of his traps. And then the traps went off because God showed him,
Uh-huh. So it's like Captain Planet a little bit. Remember Captain Planet?
Way more badass.
It's probably way more badass.
He's in the name of the Lord.
See, I was gonna say like
It's not going to be able to compete with Bible Man.
no, and this
Do
is
your research.
This is legitimately what I was gonna say before that, but I don't even want to say it now because
What is it?
Bible Man.
It's just gonna get dominated by Bible Man.
It is, and I know, and I was gonna go with one of my, and this is legitimately one of my favorite superheroes of all time.
Me too. Bible Man.
The Crimson Chin.
Wow, here comes the Crimson Chin.
Think about the Crimson Chin. Think about that guy.
God, he was a superhero within a cartoon, which is so meta
That's right.
and also dope. Because you don't have to be anything else to be a comic book character. I mean, he technically was. He was a superhero. He was a comic book character.
That's what I'm saying.
Even though
he
it's
was a
inside,
superhero.
Even, I'm pretty sure they made actual physical Crimson Chin comics as well.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I had one when I was a kid. Yeah, that, you know what? That's a good one. Still not Bible Man.
No, like I said, it's not Bible Man.
No, it's not.
It really just isn't. And now that you've opened my eyes to Bible Man, where can I access watching some episodes of Bible Man?
I'll pull some out for you after the podcast. There's a full episode we could watch on YouTube that I'll show you specifically the guy who throws the test answers in the air. It's top tier acting, effects. I mean, it's top of the line. I mean, most of the crimes happen within the church,
There's
sinning and stuff.
I was like thinking like someone was trying to.
No. Like premarital sex, and Bible Man steps in with his lightsaber, and he's like.
He puts it right between.
He cuts your dick off.
He cuts your dick off
with his lightsaber, in the name of the Lord.
He chastises you in the name of the Lord.
In the name of the Lord. He said, "By the power vested in me, slice your dick off."
Woo! No more dick for you.
Right, so that's the name of this episode is by the power vested in me, I sliced your dick off.
I like that. It was either going to be that or the Jonas Brothers are back.
No, I think that's more reasonable.
No, I like the dick slicing off one. Now that you've said it.
But the Joe Bros are more important.
But for clickbait, yeah, Jonas Brothers might work for.
Jonas Brothers, that's great clickbait right now.
I want you guys to comment on this and tell me what you would watch. Like if there was clickbait, like what you would click on. That way we can put it in our next one.
Yeah. Give us if we can at least just get one comment. Yeah. We will. How about this? The first person to comment what they want the next episode to be named. Mm-hmm. We will oblige as long as it's within like YouTube's guidelines. So it can't be anything fucking crazy or whatever. But something funny, whatever. I mean, I swear, I promise. All it takes is one person. First person to comment under this video, you comment what you want the next episode to be named, and we'll oblige.
Yep, I agree. Because if you
got this far,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was just about to say. If you got this far, you deserve to be able to make the title for the next episode.
And if you didn't get this far, you don't hear this anyways,
You're
and
dead
fuck
to
you.
me.
Fuck you.
Because you won't hear. Yeah, think
Yeah.
about that. Wow.
Yeah, you won't even hear this.
You
Fuck
won't hear
you.
this. Yeah. If you want to go off on someone who
Shout
you
out
know
Poot,
won't,
because I
make
know
it
you're
this-
listening.
Yeah, right.
The rest of
But
you,
if you
fake.
everybody
Fake.
else who only watched the first 5 minutes,
Hey, I can see my YouTube analytics, guys. Hey, watch longer. I see the analytics. Watch longer.
it breaks it down.
Hey, when you mention stuff only from the first 5 minutes of the podcast, guess what? That means you only watched the first 5 minutes of the podcast? And you're dead to me? Huh? Dead to me? Huh?
Yep.
Bye? Block your number?
I will never speak to you again.
I will mute you on Twitter. I won't unfollow you, but I'll mute you. It's even more malicious.
It really is. It really is. Is there anything because no longer can you see anything that they say?
And you don't know that I can't see all your shit and that I fucking hate you. You don't know because you're muted. You're not blocked. If you're blocked, you can go to my page and see that you're blocked.
oh, you're blocked.
But you're muted. You have no idea. And I actually, for the first time in a long time, I looked at the people that I had muted the other day. I was like, I don't even know a few of these people. When did I mute them and why?
I don't even need to mute these people.
I was looking. There was 3 of them. I didn't know who they were.
Did you unmute them? Because you
No.
shouldn't have. Yeah.
No, because I muted
There's
them for
a reason why.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I mute people who tweet too much.
Oh yeah.
If you flood my timeline, but I respect you, outside of social media, but if you're just one of those people who are like so into social media that you are constantly tweeting and you tweet annoying shit or you like retweet dumb shit, then I muted you.
Yeah.
So if you think this to yourself, if you're like, I'm a person who like tweets a lot and I retweet a lot of stuff that says we stan and mood, I've already muted you. So keep doing it because I can't see it. And you're just validating my decision to mute you. My sister almost got the ban today.
Well, don't tell her that she's gonna listen.
I already told her on Twitter.
Okay. As long as
I told her if you weren't my sister, I would have blocked you.
That's bold.
Yeah, because
But
I muted the words stan and mood, and then she tweeted at me, "This is a mood," with asterisks instead of O's, so I could see it.
Wow.
Fucking clever motherfucker. She's the smart one of the 2 of us. I was like, damn, that was fucking genius.
And I was gonna say, but could she orchestrate a podcast? And then I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, she
Yeah,
probably could.
she could.
And that's not taking anything away from you.
No, she could, 100%.
Probably could. Say
Yeah, she could do it in like ancient Greek, which you can't even speak. She could write it. Yeah, she's got the what's the name for it? I'm like the creative one. She's like, what's the word for that?
I know what you mean.
Not like analytical because I'm pretty into numbers and shit like that. But she's
she's book smart.
yeah.
But there is a
there's a term for it that I'm missing right now.
It's all right.
But she's definitely the smarter of the 2.
Yeah, so out of my siblings, there's no smart ones.
Feels bad.
Yeah, it does. But I'm here.
It also, who cares? I wouldn't consider a lot of people that I consider to be friends to be like that overtly smart. Like there, a few of our friends are like pretty fucking smart. Like a few of them come to mind immediately when you think of like
A smart person.
of like it's like I have some smart friends, but I also have some friends where it's like they don't know shit about shit. And now that I'm not claiming to know anything, but I'm just saying they also don't know shit, which is why we're friends because we just fucking fuck it.
They say that
They all do.
Yeah. No, but I've heard that you're more likely, I mean, this is kind of obvious, but to become friends with people who are close to you on like an intelligence or like an intellectual level. Like you won't be friends with people who are way smarter than you or way dumber than you.
I feel like that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Because picture both scenarios.
Yeah, but picture the really smart guy.
I hate him more.
Yeah, but picture him. Picture being him, and then picture being like, I kind of want to see what it's like to be a dumb guy. Because
They don't even want to know. They're like, I'm
That's
so
true.
smart that I'm
I guess
like,
I'm not,
dude,
yeah.
that would be awful to be as dumb as you. And I'm not even dumb. I'm just not dumb smart. Like some people are. Like some people come to mind where it's like they're just like on another level as far as being smart. And not even just book smart, all types of shit. Just really smart people.
I'm trying to think out of our friend group who's like really smart. I'm thinking of one person who you're gonna laugh at, but who is actually really smart.
Who?
Jake.
I'm smarter than Jake. Hot take. Fuck you, Jake.
No, it's not even that hot of a take.
No, Jake is one of our smarter friends. I respect Jake's opinion on a lot of things.
No.
Me and him have opposing views on many things, and I fully respect his opinion.
Now, I've watched him take a half an hour in the self-checkout line at Kroger.
Oh, he's as dumb as they come.
He is the dumbest smart person ever.
He's as dumb as they come.
Get that out there, and I want him to listen to this.
For the most mundane things, he is as dumb as they come.
But you give him any book or any assignment, and he'll crush it.
Yeah.
Like,
he's very intellectual as well, but he does a lot of dumb shit.
And I feel like he is good at reading people. He just can't. If it comes to anything that has to do with, what's the word I'm thinking of? Common sense. Yeah, I mean, you might as well be talking to the wall. Okay, that's so
love you,
mean.
Jake.
Like, yeah, I love you, dude. That's my boy. But
we literally just called you one of our smartest friends, but also one of the dumbest in common sense things, like checking out at self-checkout. We all do it, but Jake, wow, you and Trent both.
Yeah, Trent's like that too.
Yeah.
You put both. He's more all around dumb though.
Yeah, you put both of them together at a self-checkout. Oh my god.
You won't be getting your groceries anytime soon.
No, you won't. Love them both. No, I think you make a good point. Jake is definitely one of our.
He is like weirdly smart, and I believe that.
Patrick's really smart.
And I think Pat's smart
Patrick's
too,
really well read.
Both of them.
Yeah. Yeah, not afraid to. Both of them, not afraid to learn shit that opposes, their preconceived notions and their current views.
Yeah, I would agree to that.
Not afraid to progress.
I would agree.
Which makes a smart person.
Yeah,
like they say, a dumb person or whatever is somebody who they make the same mistake over and over again, or they refuse to learn anything new. They're always stuck in their current beliefs. But no, both those guys are really smart. They're always learning. So shout out to you guys. Not sucking your dick, poop.
Kind of. I would be.
Maybe for your birthday. No homo, obviously.
But I would do it. But no homo.
But not like
Not in a gay way. But I'd suck his dick. Not in a gay way.
Totally straight. For his birthday.
It'd be the straightest dick sucking of all time. And we wouldn't make eye contact. We would not make eye contact.
No. Then it's dark. With the lights off.
Yeah, the lights are off probably. Yeah.
Happy birthday. That's for your birthday. You wanted a birthday shout out? Well, you got it. You got probably more than you bargained for.
I was gonna say you got like half the episode.
Yeah. And you know what? This is a good transition to wrap things up. Do you know what Tupac's last words were? I think they're iconic. I just learned them the other day. I had no idea.
Yeah, I told you them earlier.
What's that? Refresh me. Oh, that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker.
You fat motherfucker.
Those are great words. Those are some of his
But those
best
aren't
words.
his last words. You're right.
When he got shot up in the passenger seat of the car.
With Suge.
Mm-hmm. And when Suge's trying to pry open the door, and they finally get the door open, and the first emergency responder arrives on the scene. It's a bike cop, actually. He gets there, and he has his gun drawn on Tupac while he's bleeding out in the passenger seat because it's racist. It's racist. And so he's bleeding out, and he's pointing his gun at him like, yo, I'm going to fucking kill you more. And Tupac is like, this is what they say, is like yelling for Suge, trying to yell for Suge, and, he can barely get anything out. And then this bike cop says that basically, like, he kind of saw within Tupac that he kind of came to a realization that he's about to die,
yeah.
and he like kind of became at peace with it, and then. After, because the cop's like, who did this to you? Who shot you? Like, over and over and over, and he's ignoring him, trying to talk to Suge, and he finally kind of came to peace with the fact that he was about to die, and he turned to the cop with, like, blood spewing out of his mouth, and he's bleeding out, and he's, like, coming in and out of consciousness, and the cop's like, he notices they, like, lock eyes, and he's, like, he's engaged right at that second, and the cop's like, who shot you? Help me. And Tupac says, fuck you. And dies.
Really?
Yeah. 'Cause ain't no snitching.
Wow.
Ain't no snitching.
Wow.
Even a motherfucker dying ain't no snitching.
All that being said, Tupac's still alive. But that's for a whole nother episode. We could go on for hours and hours on that.
We got a conspiracy episode coming out soon.
Oh, yeah, we do have to. We got to do just a straight conspiracy.
Even though there was a good 20-minute conspiracy segment tonight. But
yeah, and there will be more. But we will have an episode dedicated
fuck
to that.
you.
That's big. And that's what I want our last words to be.
That's gangster.
I want our last words to be.
That's actually what, my final thing I wanted to bring up was if you could have an ideal last words. Like, that this is the last thing you're going to be able to get out. You don't have any time for anything else. This is the last thing you can get out.
Yep.
Fuck you is up there. That's good. Because he's talking to the police.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
dying, and it's like he's a gangster, and he's like, fuck you. That's like the best way for him to do it.
Right. The best way for me to do it is I am 87 years old, and I'm laying next to my beautiful wife. And in bed, and I say, "All right, good night, honey," and then I die in my sleep. That's the best way.
All right, good night.
That'd be fine. Good night. I love you. Maybe throw "I love you" in there.
I'll tell you what mine is, because I'm gonna be, maybe it might be early 80s.
You don't want to go any higher than that, by the way.
No, I don't. Not
you
at
don't
all.
want to go in the 90s.
No. But that being said, my grandpa's in his 80s, and I hope he lives to fucking 150.
Well, yeah.
But I'm gonna get shot in a drive-by accidental.
Accidental.
Yeah. They didn't mean to shoot me. I was an old guy sitting on a park bench, and there were some gang
Stray
members
bullet.
behind me. Yeah, and I got shot by a stray bullet. Fucking gangster way.
Yeah,
to
you
go
went
out.
down like a gangster, though.
Gangster.
Uh-huh.
Gangster old man.
Yep.
And I'm bleeding out.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter who the fuck is, bent over me like, yo, we're going to call you some help. And my last words are going to be, listen to me very closely. I buried a large sum of cash.
Yeah, you're going to fuck with me. Yep.
And then I die. Fuck you forever.
Because for the rest of their life,
yes,
they're looking for that shit.
And maybe I'll even get out like right underneath. And then I'm just gone.
Looking under everything.
And they are always looking for that cash. Fuck you. Yes, go fuck yourself. I didn't bury no cash, dog.
Fuck you. And why would you tell a random motherfucker? I'm not going to tell you.
I wouldn't. But you thought I did.
Right?
You thought I fucked with you, random gangster in the park, but I don't.
Wow.
You got me killed.
The ultimate flex.
Isn't it? I'm walking my dog.
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm sitting because I'm tired.
Uh-huh.
Orthopedics on.
At this point, it's like a support dog.
Come on, I'm in my 80s. I'm not fucking 100. If I have a support dog, I'm fucking purposely getting in front of a drive-by before that.
Oh, come on, man. With the dog? It's fine.
No, not with the dog. No, just me. I'm just going into a blood hood and throwing up crip at like 80 something.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Do you think they would smoke me?
Yeah, you seen Gran Torino?
Wow, that's exactly
exactly
what I'm talking about. That's great. I think we've had a killer episode.
I think we have to.
I think the people will enjoy it. I'm excited to see the feedback.
And thank you for listening, as always.
As always, peace out and tune in next time.